It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Moriah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. YK in the building. YK, we regular on Wednesdays these days. What's going on? Usually a Tuesday, Thursday.
Last week it was talking that travel, so they made me come 3 times. This week is Obiajulu that has traveled.
Next week, Bobby Nima, because Ramadan has started.
You're working. YK, you're working. Don't worry. When you go on your own vacation, that you do 1 full month.
Yes, so
we have to do the work.
The time you wait for 3 months.
Yes, sir. Omungo.
When you are grandmothers, you people will not even be doing this show.
Surprise.
Sure.
Never say never. You never know.
I'm here to bet with you.
I do.
Bet with you.
I
Say
do.
it is Tokwe that wants to become a real-time, can you come
Real estate
mogul that will start running up and down to TVC. I'm here watching all
I
of
do.
you. You know, I'll be one of those old women say,
with your nail polish.
Yes.
I didn't like anything.
I'm fine. Let me hail Obiajulu. Enjoy you. Enjoy you if you are watching.
She does not even have time to watch.
Don't come back with that thing.
How you doing, Brian? Okay.
Another very special day. This week is actually very special. Many important people. My mom's birthday is today.
Oh, really?
Yes. My mom's birthday is today, Mrs. Olayinka Odubelani Daramola. Everybody feels that mom is the best in the world, but really, truly, my mom is the best in the world.
My mom.
And she's Yabugwaye, you know, like, I'm humbled by, and I learned from it, because my mom isn't limited by the fact that she has just 1 child biologically, but she's become a mother to many. Even within TVC here, I heard them say, I spoke to your mom, she prayed with me. Your mom took me to the mountain, we did one. I'm like, wondering, hello, you met my mom here in TVC. When did you people become chummy that you are praying together? Well, that's my mom. Mom, God bless you. You live long and enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How you doing,
I'm
Mariam?
fine. I feel so well rested.
You look rested. Look at all your rosy cheeks and everything just popping and glowing.
Glowing from all the cake I've eaten. And I just wanted to say thank you to the ladies. You guys were amazing over the weekend. I appreciate you and all the beautiful gifts that we got from you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you for a lovely weekend.
Yes, yes,
It
yes.
was
yes.
a lovely.
Okay, let's go on a
Going
quick...
back there.
Nimatu is going back there. Imagine, just did publicity for these people. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. 2023 presidential ticket. PDP to jettison zoning. Terrorists attack military base in Kaduna. Picture here of El Rufai Tinubu seeks stiffer actions against bandits and terrorists. NNPC seeks joint battle against crude oil theft. Massive promotion in customs service. NIN SIM linkage. Angry subscribers besiege enrollment centers. And IG fires 9 policemen over planned strike. Okay, which story are we starting with?
I think Miriam wants to start with the story.
Okay.
Or can I start with this?
Yes, yes.
Go ahead, YK, please.
Yeah,
Like the major story.
NIN SIM linkage. A lot of subscribers woke up yesterday and their phones, they couldn't make calls. So they all besieged the enrollment centers. Demanding, why is my phone off? I paid.
Okay, as if she was there on the queue with them.
You know that's how Nigerians will do now.
Yes, now.
So there was this particular guy. What was his name? He said he's a spare parts dealer. He woke up. He put on his MTN. It wasn't working. So he used his 9 mobile. It wasn't working. So that's why he's here now. To know why he's... So they asked him. They said, why didn't you
Link your...
He said, hey, he didn't know now. He didn't know about it. What was
How
it?
to do it? He didn't know how
He
to
didn't
go
know how
about
to do
it.
it.
But it's just 2 seconds to do it. Can't they just do it right away? I think they stop.
It's the number of Nigerians who will be affected by this. We're talking about over 70 million
yes,
Nigerians.
72 million to be precise. Another one said the mother refused to pay the 2,000 naira. That's why he didn't do it. But now they have given him the 2,000 naira because he won't do his jam. So,
Really.
But to understand,
I thought to link it was just star 75 or 785.
Registering. Some haven't even gotten the NIN. So those that don't have NIN now have to get it in order to link.
So, for me, it was easy because I already had the NIN, so I just on my phone.
But then it's also important to note, many times we blame government for a lot of these things, but we can bear witness that government gave us enough time, many extensions, and Nigerians did not.
Just the same way they don't pay taxes, just choose not to pay.
So we have police, 9 police officers have been dismissed by the IG of police for their roles in the botch strike by rank and file of the institution. So their names have been listed. There were 2 inspectors, 5 sergeants, and 2 constables. It took, they said, intelligence. They were able to track them, track the calls, and some of the information that they had shared amongst them towards this planned strike by police personnel. And they've been asked to be decatted and, you know, immediately they were asked to also leave their accommodation. And this was to be done immediately by all the police commissioners. I didn't hear about this strike. Did you hear about it?
I read about it in the papers some time ago.
Yes,
we did.
But the police denied it. Okay. Funnily enough, the police said, no, there's nothing like that. And now,
sometimes it's sacked.
There was something like that. Because they're sacking some people.
Okay, so I was going to... Go ahead.
Drama happened in Ondo State between Amotekun and the military, the soldiers. Apparently, the Ondo State Security Network, Amotekun, have a law within Ondo State that is anti-grazing. And so they saw cows, about 100 of them, cows, and they seized the 100 cows for violating the anti-grazing law, only for them to get a response from the soldiers who said that the cows belong to their military boss in the barracks, and so they cannot seize those cows. And the Amotekun said, we have a right. We saw the cows, and the owners of the cows must come and bail the cows and pay for damages to the crops where they were grazing. And so this led to fisticuffs, that they were fighting. They shot into the air over misunderstanding of where is the cow. This is all shades of wrong. And to a large extent, I believe there should be an internal investigation into who actually owns the cows within the barracks, and there should be disciplinary action. The fact that a military man owns a cow does not mean that they should come into a civilian atmosphere to fight to get the cows back, when there is a law already existing within that state that cows are not allowed to graze openly.
Right.
The head of the Amotekun, the commander of Ondo Amotekun, Chief Adetuji Adeleye, mentioned, however, that it was just a minor skirmish, that it was the headers that were hiding under the military officers to cause the trouble, but they shouldn't be gunshot.
Okay.
House.
Quickly, so the military source has confirmed that terrorists invaded Sunday evening the military base in Kaduna, and those terrorists came in their hundreds on a motorbike with AK-47s and rocket-propelled grenades. Wow. They burned down 3 of their armored personnel carriers, destroyed 3 of that, and killed 12 soldiers. And I think about 4 or so, 3 vigilantes were also killed in a neighboring town. I mean, the terrorists also burned down this, and I mean, this is really horrible. So many of the victims were now taken to a nearby hospital. I think it was the 44 Nigerian Army Reference Hospital in Kaduna. It says that other sources came with wounded soldiers in about 271 and Air Force Medical Center. I mean, the point is, this attack really, really almost clamped down on the military base in Kaduna. This is really pathetic, where you have a state that has quite a bit of military presence.
It's not a bit alien.
And these people came in hundreds on a motorbike.
And,
this is quite alarming.
Because I took the story in Vanguard.
Yes.
They have Begingwari Emirates People's Union. They said, they expressed their concern. They said the Ansaru, because this is supposed to have been taken up by the Ansaru terrorists, they tax them regularly, they kidnap them regularly, the area is not safe, people know that, and they operate freely on a regular basis.
Wow.
And nothing has been done. Now, they were actually coming from Niger, according to the bank, they were coming from Niger to Zamfara. They were going to Zamfara and then stopped in the middle of the way to attack Kaduna.
And that Birmingham is now fast becoming a center for terrorists. It's saying that that community is frightening, that many communities in Birmingham are falling into the governance of terrorists. So terrorists have actually taken over those communities.
They are recruiting people
within
by force.
Nigeria.
They are recruiting people by force. They force you to become a terrorist. And
I recall the Minister of Information said that the difference between their own fight against terrorism and Jonathan's time is that no territory in Nigeria has been taken over by terrorists. Well, he said that. But it looks like some of our territories within the country are...
That's what I said yesterday, that why is he even saying this when that time it was confined to Borno State. Now it's all over.
Insurgency everywhere.
Moving on quickly.
With Kaduna State, there's just so much that's going on in that state, security-wise, and to think that they're still caught unawares is...
You grew up there, okay?
No, Jos. Let's move on quickly to the Punch.
I grew up in Jos, but I went to
PDP panel dumps zoning, fears not voting strength. 1,500 federal workers with fake appointment letters on the probe. Unemployment looms as truckers lament 50% drop in cargoes. Ogun Church scatters as preacher dies during sermon against ritualists. Man bags life imprisonment for raping UNILAG student. Judge slams victim. Account for 6-month oil production. Reps orders NUPRC. 7 train workers missing. Losses hit 80 million. 163 passengers unreachable, says NRC. Nigeria bleeds. Tinubu laments during Kaduna visit. And Omo Agege asked aide to resign ahead of primaries. Okay. So we're starting with YK?
State church scatters.
Is a Punch misleading us again? Because when these days Punch said that
they said that he was preaching. They even watched the video of where he was preaching. He was in the evangelical church winning all.
Okay.
In Abekuta, Pansheke again. Said that they saw the video where he was warning the killers that, look, death will come for them if they continue. They are sucking human blood. As he was preaching, just collapsed. His church just scattered. Yay! What did they do? They've done call.
YK.
That's what the story. Thank God Mariam read that story.
I read that story because I was quite interested. So they were not running out of the church.
Some
They were
ran
running
out
to
now.
help him.
No, not
And
everybody
also,
ran to help
he's
him
not
now.
the pastor. He's not
Listen,
the...
this
Wait, let me hear
It's
her
her story.
version.
It's her story. Let her.
Wait, he said he was talking about death, people who made money by killing other
Yes.
people. All of a sudden, he collapsed. He was rushed to FMC. Do you know what happened? I was very scared. Everything was disrupted.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Okay, so they also explained that this is an elder in the community that came to talk about ritual killing and how it affects...
So he's not a pastor.
Yeah, he's not a pastor. And that he's an elderly man. So there may have been some underlying illnesses that he
Exactly.
had
On that note, we're going to
What does
quick
the head
break.
says? Ogun State?
Yeah.
That is why sensational. That's my problem with Punch these days. That's why they sensationalized. What's your guy? Fashola. He said that Fashola said that because of what was it again? That it was because of IPOB. That they were going to do the second Niger breed. When Fashola said COVID-19, IPOB, and the isolated one. So Punch these days, I have to read them 3 times, if I'm sure. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back. Punch has joined them.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're still reviewing Punch. Was on the story? Who are the 7 train workers? Yes, go
train
ahead.
attack. So this is from the NRC, and the managing director of NRC, Fidet Okiria, is giving. I think they said this is the 6th update he's given, and he's saying that he stated that 191 passengers have already been confirmed saved. We knew that, but he says that there are a few others who are still missing. 100. They are still not able to establish contact with 163 passengers as of the last update that he's given. He also said that 46 phone numbers on the manifest are still either switched off or not reachable since Tuesday morning. 33 phone numbers on the manifest are ringing, but no response on the other end. 62 phone numbers on the manifest, when called, the response was non-existent. 22 persons have been reported missing by their families, and of course we are aware of the 8 persons dead. They also gave us the crew members on the train. They said that there were 20 train crews on board. 7 of them were NRC staff. 10 of the janitors, they had 10 janitors, 6 are okay, 3 are missing, 1 sadly dead. And also on board were caterers. 2 of the caterers are missing. Concerning the coaches, they said one of the coaches has been derailed, and a lot of work is being done extensively on the rail lines to, have the train working again. But they said that as of today, as of the last update, Nigeria has lost about 80 million naira. So they took us back to when the Minister for Transportation had explained that per month, that particular rail generates 300 million naira for our economy, and that even the money made from the Abuja-Kaduna rail is what has been used to help develop the Lagos-Ibadan rail. And so in the 8 days that we have not had, we've lost about 30 million naira. So this is how much it costs us monetarily.
Right.
Of course, we cannot take away the losses, loss of lives and the kidnapping and so on.
So,
if the phones are ringing, why can't you trace them?
Honestly.
it's the fundamental question we've been asking, but we don't know what's going on because it seems so basic, but still as simple as it sounds. It always looks complicated.
But it works in some other areas when it is big people. It works.
Yeah.
They
I
trace
just want
it.
to hope that this is some sort of intelligent security way of not telling us exactly what they're doing, so that they don't tip off the other.
Possibly, yeah, that's true. I mean, so there was I know I've been following the PDP story. I know yesterday there was a meeting. Remember that a 37-man committee was raised a while back to agree on the zoning pattern for PDP, and based on a few days ago, they were going to choose between, the candidates were split across 3 lines. So there were those who were saying that let's open it up for the delegates to choose. Others said let's have a consensus. Another said no, let's move zone to south. So the committee finally came out yesterday, and they said that they're going to open it out. So what all that means is that people will then let you test your popularity. You go out there to see who let the best man pretty much win. So if the delegates are going to choose who their candidate or flag bearer would be, they will be the people will be the ones to decide. And I think this is an interesting part of democracy playing out, where it's not about let us agree amongst ourselves or let us zone. It's about what the people want. And I think this is a good development for PDP. We'll see how that goes.
The government.
The funniest part of that story, I read it in the Sun.
Yeah.
And it says Autumn didn't tell them what the outcome of the meeting was. But when they saw some of the southern leaders coming out, they were looking very miserable.
So they kind of knew exactly what happened. Yeah. So Autumn said he's going to send the result to NEC and to INEC directly, and they'll be the ones to.
Please let me take the story of 1,500 federal workers with fake appointment letters, because I thought that with all the processes that has been done over and over again, we won't be finding this out. Apparently, they've been getting paid because they were found on the IPPIS. They are saying they would delist them from the IPPIS. That 1,000 fake appointment letters was from one ministry. And then 500 people had fake appointment letters from other different ministries altogether. This revelation came from Dr. Folashade Yemi, who is the head of civil service of the Federation. She was speaking about how the ministry would continue to entrench transparency within its processes. I just feel like we've heard so many about ghost workers, like I'm tired. To now hear that there's a different dimension, it is now fake letters of appointment, and then they get to work. Who is giving there must be investigation. It wasn't just about delisting. It wasn't just delist them. They mustn't just lose their job. They must be prosecuted.
Yes, it's really wrong. This is also we the people.
Yes.
Yeah, you're in the vantage points.
You give letters. You have the letterhead, and you know who signed off.
Right. Vantage point.
Yeah, a reflection of the government.
Daily Sun. 2023 PDP dashes out hopes, throws presidential ticket open. Government speakers meet Friday over insecurity and other challenges. INEC reads Riot Act to political parties over conduct of primaries. NLC warns presidential aspirants and others against 2023. The Nigerian Guild of Editors asks media to monitor compliance with Electoral Act. 12 soldiers, 3 vigilantes killed as terrorists attack military base in Kaduna. 2023 Guba Ayu appeals to Abia PDP stakeholders to resolve crisis. Okay, which story are we starting with in Sun? Let's start with the NLC. You have the story?
No.
Okay,
I thought you had the NLC too. Okay, so let's see. Let's find the story. We didn't read Sun.
Okay, let me take INEC. INEC has threatened to disqualify any political party that fails to adhere strictly to its regulations and guidelines for the conduct of the 2023 general elections and conduct of the primaries of the 2023 elections. It names so many of the guidelines and says that it's important, that parties follow these guidelines strictly, or else their candidates may be disqualified, primaries cancelled and things like that. So there are quite a few of them, so many of them, and I think that people should take the time out to read what it is. And parties should to pay attention to what these guidelines are. We need to do things well. And for me, if a party cannot follow just the simple guidelines, I wonder how they will be able to even run our country.
So in a related story, the Nigerian Guild of Editors also called on the media to ensure they monitor politicians' adherence to the Electoral Act during the campaigns as it worked for the 2023 elections. According to them, that we should be setting the agenda, not the politicians. They said that we should ensure that the political parties have the capacity and would not divide us on religious and ethnical grounds. They also said that the media should interrogate promises by candidates in the 2023 elections to ensure that they do not deceive the electorate, and that there's a high task ahead of us to ensure that we are not bipartisan or partisan, not bipartisan.
I wanted to take the story of governors about the insecurity challenges happening around the state. All the governors under the auspice of the NGF, as well as all the speakers of the state houses of assembly, will be having a meeting this Friday in Abuja. The focus is to discuss, 72 participants will be coming together to discuss how to chart and provide security holistically for each state. Now, I know many of our Nigerians, we have lots of ideas. We have many security experts. This is the time for you to quickly send that letter, that memo, that idea, proposal to all your state house of assembly or to the governor to see if it can be used to influence the meeting this Friday, because we all hands must be on deck to secure this country.
Because we all have ideas. We can speak on TV, the talk, I'm a security expert.
All of them are doing
I'm a security expert.
on Twitter, they're security experts.
Yes.
Instagram,
I work for FBI.
Experts. Send your proposal now to the governor.
I work for FBI, I work for CIA. You think of intelligence, count that English. Take it to this proposal and let us get it right. Okay. Right, our final paper, the Nigerian Tribune. Let's see how much time we have. Let's find a story we've not taken. 27 million pupils enrolled in primary schools nationwide, says UBEC. West Africa faces worst food crisis as 27 million people suffering from hunger, and 11 international organizations say. Lamentations as food household products prices soar nationwide. Evil spirits dwell in the minds of Nigerian politicians, says Gani Adams. Danjuma to chair Awolowo Foundation 30th anniversary seminar. Political parties must conduct democratic primaries, says INEC. Okay, which story are we taking in Tribune?
Okay, let me take the what West Africa faces worst food crisis, 27 million people. So first of all, it was the former Nigerian ambassador to Ukraine, Mr. Frank Iso, and he was just giving us, drawing us a picture of how this Russia-Ukraine war would affect Africa, and it's already affecting Africa. He says, first of all, the UN, the United Nations, the USA, all the bodies that can mediate, in this war should do so quickly, because it has far-reaching effects on Africa. It says, first of all, when it comes to oil prices will go up, and that means for Nigeria especially, a lot of money has to be paid, has to be put towards paying subsidy. Monies that can be used, to develop the economy in different other ways will have to be used for subsidy. And that also, opens the door for unscrupulous business people to take advantage of. He talks about food crisis. He says Nigeria is one of the major importer of wheat from Russia and Ukraine. And this ongoing war would mean, higher prices in wheat, in food made from wheat, especially bread. He just showed how bad this would be if nothing is done immediately to, counteract that. And also just the picture of how food prices are soaring across Nigeria. We have a lot of people in different parts of Nigeria just talking about, the prices.
So I want to quickly take the education story. Good news. We have 27 million pupils enrolled. Actually, 22.
27 million. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
27 million enrolled in school. Good news is that the difference between male and female learners isn't much. 52% of the enrollment is male, 48% female. They also mentioned that 225 billion matching grant has been disbursed to all 36 states, and there has been major construction. There's educational secretaries in every local government. If you feel the education sector in your area isn't doing well, go to the local government and ask for the educational secretaries of the universal basic education, and you can make your complaints. I think we should take advantage of the government and hold them accountable, not just complaining.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So one of the news that caught a lot of attention in the past few days was about an interview that was recently conducted. Hafsat Abiola, who is the daughter of the late Chief MKO Abiola, granted an interview where she declared that she was the Director General of Yahaya Bello's campaign team. In addition to that, she also made comparison of her father with her principal, which is Yahaya Bello, concerning how both of them are similar. According to her specifically, she said that she liked the fact that her father never had a godfather and Yahaya Bello too never has a godfather, that he's a man of the people, he believes in unity just like our father. So a lot of comparisons were made, and many people obviously had their own reservations about the fact that the person she symbolizes may not have, according to many, do not match the role she's playing, especially because there's a lot of conversation around zoning, where should the presidency go, and all that. Now, as that, like that wasn't enough, then her sister on a different TV program clapped back, saying that it was wrong, it was not her right to compare their father with her principal. Now, people have also reacted that yes, she might have a point, but what exactly did she do it the right way? Could she have put a phone call through? Or she could have had a personal conversation with her. But did that need to come on television? That's a conversation that is worth having, because we run into these kind of things all the time, and it's always good to learn lessons and elicit lessons from these kind of things. So if you have any comments on this, you can call us on 081-270-53687 and 091-390-7694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Okay, so without judging,
Possible?
you know, I mean, so let me know your thoughts. When you watched both, what came to mind? Who'd like to go first?
Both. Let me start with the first Hafsat's one. When I read the story, no, I actually heard you read it out. Then I went to read it, and I was like, this is MKO we're talking about. Like, this is the great symbol of democracy. This is someone who, years after the date of the election, has been made Democracy Day. This is not this. There shouldn't be. Don't bring politics into anything that has to do with this man. Let's reserve this icon for who he is. Okay, we know he's not perfect, but let's just leave it. Like, leave him on that pedestal. Let's not rub shoulders. It's like saying, oh, Nnamdi Azikiwe is something. No. I felt it was a very, very weird comparison. And I respect Yahaya Bello for all the good he represents and all the good he's done to people of his state, the peace he has done to people of his state. But I do not believe it is a fair comparison. Everybody should start and campaign on their own merits. There shouldn't be a comparison for your campaign. Campaign as if you want to campaign for Yahaya Bello, campaign for Yahaya Bello because you believe in him. That comparison of this is my father represented this man is like my father, it was just irrelevant.
It didn't say well with you. Wrong. Okay, all right. Okay. What are your thoughts?
Okay, my initial thoughts too. I didn't even hear Hafsat until I heard Tundun's response, and I understood where she was coming from. For many Nigerians, he represents, someone who fought for democracy and was willing, well, maybe not willing, but that it cost him his life. We've sat down here with some of his children, and we know how their lives were upturned because of, what he went through and what, the government at the time did to them. So really, I know a lot of people like to compare, and comparison can be good, but in this case, I just feel that it was not the right comparison to this person. Yahaya Bello is a governor, a two-term governor, with a lot of issues from his state. A lot of people are talking of unpaid salaries, so many things. And to compare him, a governor, and what he's done and his failures with what MKO Abiola stands for. You know, MKO Abiola is not just a man of, he's as you said, he's a symbol of democracy for us right now. Now, when you hear a child of that symbol or the icon or the legacy, you know, someone that comes from there, you can't say much because this is the child of that person. That's the father. Maybe there are some parts that she saw and that she sees that is, you know, that she can compare. I mean, and so the part that she compares, where she says he sees the unity, and maybe that is the part that should have been highlighted. But for a lot of us, is you cannot take this whole huge symbol.
And I don't think she did that. In fairness to her, Mariam, she didn't do that. She was very, because I read that article, unless there's something else I didn't read. But what I read was very specific. She said he doesn't have a godfather, just like her father didn't have a godfather, and that he believed in unity. I didn't think she was comparing who MKO stood for to Yahaya completely in totality. And also, doesn't she have a right to be Hafsat without her father? Doesn't she have, because I am the daughter, doesn't she have a right to take a job and that's her father. If I choose to use my father to compare to your own father, it's my choice. It's under my father.
Yes, she has the right to make that comparison, but we also have the right, because of what he stands and represents, to respond to her and respond to her in the way that we feel. Because, like, there's sometimes YK too comes from that sort of family where there's legacy. And I heard her brother come here one time and says lots of people are singing some songs, behaving a certain way, and they want to put that on my father. That's not who my father was. Not just that. My father was so many other things.
Exactly.
So those sort of people, those of you that come from that kind of family, that have that sort of legacy, I feel that you need to be careful to represent your family, your legacy properly. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and I've seen YK display that.
So let us now flip. So we've talked about Hafsat, and we'll still talk about it a bit more. But let's go to Tundun's response. Was that necessary, the way she responded? YK?
I think she did not respond appropriately. Obviously, from that response, that I know how to read meanings into everything.
Yes.
I read meaning that there is friction.
Yes.
Because this individual, that's her sister. That's her sister she's talking about. I don't know who is her own mother. But obviously, I think that whatever she thinks of Hafsat, she should have kept it to family meeting or made a phone call or something. I don't think it was appropriate. Maybe it's the age I am now. Maybe if I was that age, I would do that. I don't want to cast aspersions. But I'm just thinking that I watched it and I was like, What? Because I didn't watch the program. I think the video went viral because of the content.
I don't.
So I thought the ranting was just...
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll interrogate this further. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this sister act that we experienced recently with the Abiolas. Now, YK was responding to Tundun's response, and I knew you wanted to add something to that. Yes.
So I'm of the opinion that you don't bring your family issues online. You don't bring your family issues on TV. You don't bring your family issues into social media. We can fight ourselves in the house, and we come outside and present ourselves as a united force. I don't think that's the structure in that house. YK, on many occasions, on this show, she'll be like, I cannot go to this person. This person did something to my father. I cannot be seen with this person. Even things that might seemingly be profitable financially, she will say, no. This is not what my family represents. And it's not on TV. I'm saying I have seen YK several times distance herself from some things because it does not tally with the values of her heritage. And because of that, I looked at Hafsat can take a job. She's Hafsat. And while people might say, oh, you're not feeding her, you don't know what she's going through, I don't feel any issue with her taking a job. But the moment where she brings the heritage she carries, which is what they paid her for, part of what they paid her for, because she must be really good, then she begins to water down that heritage, and I'm not in support of that. Now,
why would you say it's watered down? Because she's comparing it to her principal. I mean, why is that watered down?
I just feel,
what if indeed Yahaya Bello does indeed can represent what MKO stood for?
I believe that if the comparison is coming from a neutral person, someone who says, I love Yahaya Bello, and I have seen is demonstrated the democratic beliefs and of MKO Abiola, is a different thing. But when you are appointed as a campaign person and then you're saying this, even it's a disadvantage to the Yahaya Bello's campaign, because now we're not talking about Yahaya Bello, we're talking about the comparison, how it's unfair. Everybody is now, it has taken away from what should be the main deal, which is Yahaya Bello's campaign.
Okay, so my response to her, Tundun, her response. So first of all, yes, I understand how it will come across like these sisters must be fighting or these sisters do not agree. She would have made a call to her. But like I said, usually with families like this, it would require that someone comes out publicly to make a statement. So the only thing that may have been different that I would have advised would be a family, like a media printout or something saying this is what the family has decided or have heard, but do not agree or stand by this. This is Hafsat's personal decision and personal comparison, but this does not represent...
So an official press release from the family.
Official press release would have been better. But what it came across as is, this is a sister that I don't really dig, you know, we're not really on good terms. And I feel that also adds to what has happened.
So would we say that Tundun crossed her path? They must say something the elder should have said. So was something your father or the elder or the Olori Ebi or the family should have said. You as small Tundun now said that. Is that what we're saying? That she was not in the right place to say that kind of thing against Hafsat?
Not that she's not in the right place. She did not say, it was not respectful.
The right platform.
It was not the right platform. It was not respectful.
Yeah.
I always say that there are different ways where we can share our disagreements without, you know, tearing each other down.
Yeah.
And I feel that's what she did, especially as it wasn't as if Hafsat called her.
Right.
But I understand she was also trying to defend her name, defend her father's name. So I believe that as a family, they should have put out a press release saying this was Hafsat's personal opinion, but as a family, this is not what we stand for.
But there's an angle, YK, there's an angle that we've not talked about, YK. Because, I mean, I've read a few responses to this, and some of the responses I read online was the fact that when we were fighting for this democracy, nobody knew who Tundun was at the time. We saw Hafsat at CNN going around. She was the voice. So she was the voice. She was the person that actually, this name that you're defending today, this Hafsat is the person that actually helped us to bring it up, to continue to live that legacy that we're all celebrating today. We didn't know who you were until you started working in the TV station. Nobody knew who you were. So but the point is, so don't assume or don't make the world seem that Hafsat would desecrate or bring down something she has actually held up for so many years.
Okay, could it be that Tundun doesn't know who her father was and Hafsat does?
No.
I also felt like Tundun was being emotional. You know, the way she said it was an emotional outburst. And I feel that many times, over and over again, we let our emotions
take the better part of us.
Yes, and if you can just calmly, you know, whenever you want to say something and you just take a step back and think and reflect, you might end up not saying what you wanted to say. I feel like the platform was a huge platform, and it is a huge platform, and we must be deliberate. It's like when I'm here, I know what I want to achieve is an impactful platform, and I want to ensure that whatever message I'm pushing, I will be able to stand with it with my full chest all my life. So we mustn't just let it be an emotional outburst. And over and over again, we're talking about MKO Abiola. We're not talking about any ordinary person. We have icons. Fela is an icon.
Yes. Don't compare Fela to
I'm not
MKO.
comparing. I'm saying in terms of history.
They're not comparable.
He's not.
No, I'm talking about family history.
Yes, we're talking about history, legacy.
I'm just saying,
each individual.
compare him to other people, not Fela.
All right, awesome. So each individual in history has their own place, and at every point in time, let the people that want to become like them live up to that over time.
So I think Hafsat has really paid her dues in politics and governance in the sense that I think she's somebody that, yes, if she says something, yes, we might take it with a pinch of salt, and say this is a bit much now. You shouldn't be supporting this. You shouldn't be even taking this job in the first place. But we should also try to understand first why she was trying to make that comparison. What has she seen? Now, maybe I agree that she shouldn't have committed that comparison. Yeah, because your father is not who you think. He's not just your daddy. He's a symbol to Nigerians. Yeah, we get that. But the response also, Many just felt it was a bit much.
You know, her father was running for this same office that Yahaya Bello is running for. And what he had to pay, the price he had to pay, I just feel that she shouldn't have made a comparison openly.
Yeah.
She could have said he stands for unity, he stands for... But to compare him with her dad. But, you know, I disagree with that. I feel that she shouldn't have compared him with what he stood for. That's what her father stood for. But I also understand the part of being a child of someone that the world reveres. The child knows that person from another perspective. He understands that person from another angle. She sees the part that we do not see. For us, MKO Abiola would always just be that symbol of democracy, to the point that he was willing to lay down, you know, that his life was taken away from him, that his whole family became, you know, was just turned around because of what he stood for. But father-child relationship, and I feel that that's why Yahaya Bello must have asked her to come, because without saying anything, that she's the child of this person,
it's heavy in
should
itself.
have said enough.
Yes.
So, but also then finally, her younger sister's response, I think, would have been better made.
Yeah.
That's all.
Now, so I mean, talking about the emotions, because I know Tope talked about the emotions earlier. So whenever we mention MK Abiola now, we have to be mentioning with eggshells, because somebody might just flag, you know, this is not the second, this is the second time. Yeah. Somebody else came on her show, said something about her father, and she flipped. So even we can't mention MK Abiola anyhow now, because somebody's going to insult us for while we're talking about her father.
When you're on TV, anything you put online, not even TV, as what we release, they say, "Any loro," like our words are eggs. Once they drop, you can't pick it up again. So we must learn to be more, contain ourselves more, and not just do what we feel like doing, the way we feel like doing it, because we have
to wrap up, Michael, your final words on this, we have to wrap up.
Because Michael just defended her father like, no.
I will defend my father because I know there was history between them. Yeah. That is why I've been very quiet. Yes. I've been and I'm trying to be circumspect.
We understand that, yes.
So, but personally, I don't think she should have attacked her sister the way she did online.
Family.
Okay, so I think we just, when we want to mention his name, we want to refer to him, we have to be very careful. Yeah, before. I don't want anybody talking to me.
This one that we say now, we might receive it on...
That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So on Wednesdays, we like to celebrate women, and one of which is our guest today. She's a woman we love as a media personality, producer, presenter, editor, who has also experience in business strategy, banking, and handling non-governmental organizations. Welcome with us, Olapeju Fadirepo Ibekwe. Welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you, Mariah.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
One of the things we like to do is get women to inspire others, you know, especially this season that many women are going out, they're pushing themselves into office and strategy and business. In the summary, give us your background and what you do so that we can then take it from there.
Okay, I think you've done a fantastic job of introducing me already. But I'm here basically because of my role as a film producer. Yes. I recently produced a movie called Chatroom. And Chatroom is focused on women, right? But it touches on some issues that affect the entire society, both men and women. It's a timely story, interesting story. For my background, yes, I have experience in banking, like you rightly mentioned. Yeah. I also have experience in leading non-profit organizations. And yes, the media, production. I was a journalist in some years ago.
Hey, go ahead.
So, as Mariah introduced in the beginning, this is our Women We Love. So it means we want to know everything about you. Of course, you know, the way that you speak already, I can tell that you have experience in media. And the question is, how did you get there? Was it always a dream of yours? And were there any challenges while you were in media?
In the media was interesting for me. So I have my first degree in mass communication from the University of Lagos. So I didn't just happen on the media. I'm a trained journalist. And I practice as a journalist, yes, and yes, production of documentaries, carrying camera around.
Wow.
I was in Galaxy Television in those days. I'm in Galaxy. They'll just give you the camera.
Go.
And they'll give you the location, right? And they'll give you the letter. This is what you're going to cover. You're not going with any cameraman.
Wow.
Yeah, but for me, it was excellent training, right? Because I was able to handle the camera. I'll come in, voice my report, write my report, voice it, edit it, and get it ready for the news report. Yes, and it was really interesting then because there was this anxiety, the rush of energy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I understand.
Yes, but that was just a decade ago. Of course. Of course, there's something about the media. Once it bites you, yeah. Fantastic. So it's yes.
Yeah, so I know you from the bank. You know, I met you in the banking world, and you were very supportive of my project. And I wonder the transition. You know, many people study A and do B, but I always believe that everything adds up at the end. But what led you into the banking world after experiencing media, and why did you exit when you did?
The banking world. So, sincerely, some things I won't say on camera, there was an opportunity then.
Okay.
There was an opportunity then, and I thought it was going to be, basically enlarge my scope, and I won't be limited in my perspective. And today, I'm very grateful for the opportunity and the experience. It's been very enlightening, and it's excellent because you're able to wear different hats and see issues from different perspectives at the same time. And yes, but I never really left the media because even though while I was in banking, I also had my show. I was producing and presenting. Yes.
Wow.
And was independent production. It was airing on DSTV. It was airing on High TV, High Nolly at the time. And the fantastic thing is that my organization
knew that, and they
yes, a very fantastic organization to support you too, because you know you have to bring your best self to work, and you should also have the opportunity to express yourself fully.
You can almost guess the bank, trust me. Go ahead, White.
I just wanted to ask you, what's your take on how female in journalism has evolved, you know? Before, the women were very quiet. You didn't really see... I mean, you would see female journalists, but not like you see them now. Now we have TV shows. We host TV shows. Yeah. They are all women like this one. Yeah. You know, how would you... What's... From that time to now, how do you think it's evolved? Well,
on NTA, there were women shows in those days, right? But they were few and far between. Today, it's almost like a proliferation of women-focused shows everywhere. And the beautiful thing about the social media is you could actually just produce and present your own show on Instagram without having to have traditional... So it's everywhere. Everyone literally is a producer on YouTube today.
Absolutely.
Yes, with their phones. So there's a proliferation, and I don't think it's limited to Nigeria. I think it's a global... renaissance of women finding their voices, and that's one of the themes of Chatroom, also the movie I produced, that is going to be released on April 15 on Good Friday on the digital platform afrocinema.tv. It's about finding your voice and being able to express it. At least you'll get the opportunity to express it. It never really used to be so.
Is it a movie or a documentary? Or?
It is a film, a feature-length, entertaining movie that stars old and new Nollywood, as someone called it at a show I attended recently. So it has veteran actor Tony Umez, and then it also has new Nollywood lover boy Ibrahim Suleiman.
Oh, nice.
So someone said that's the old and the new lover boy, right? It has award-winning singer Omawumi Megbele.
Oh, interesting.
Wow. Yes, it has our interesting comedian Akuroro.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It has...
I'm looking forward to this.
It has an actor I personally really love, Odunlade Adekola.
Everybody loves him.
Yes. I like watching his movies. So when I had the opportunity to produce, I thought I really wanted him to be on it.
That's fantastic.
Right? And then Adesuma Oyinokwe is my associate producer. Yes.
How has the journey of production been? You know, because we've interviewed... This is your first feature film?
Yes, feature film production, yes.
How was it? What were the challenges?
Do you really want me to say everything here?
Please, because somebody is watching and wondering, this woman put it all together, has all these big names. It must have been all rosy, and we really need to be realistic in letting people understand.
It was not all rosy. It was not all rosy at all. But it's all about attitude. When you have the attitude of this is a learning experience, and you have a positive attitude that no matter what happens, this has to succeed. I think those are the two things. And I think it's something that transcends production. Yes. First and foremost, even if you have issues, challenges, failures, you fail forward. You take your learnings from it, and then you move on. It's not for you to stop there. No. Because there's so much more. There's so many more successes ahead of you. So it's just for you to take the learnings and fail forward and move on, and then have the attitude that, hey, I'm not giving up.
Is there going to be a premiere?
Yes, there's a premiere, a world premiere at Weedbaker Hotel.
Ah, cool.
On the 17th, on Easter Sunday.
Oh, nice.
On 5 p.m.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
You know, I would like to know, would you say that you found or you find women quite supportive of your journey wherever you've been, banking, media, production? Or would you say that that's something women still need to work on, women supporting women?
Women are wonderful. Yes. So a woman is a natural carer. A woman can only feel threatened if they think you want to take something that belongs to them. Right. But once you're not a threat, I think women, in my journey, women have actually really been supportive. Adesuwa Inukwe is my associate producer, and I approached her because I learned she actually did study drama for her first degree. And it just occurred to me that I've never really seen her act. So I approached her with the opportunity that, hey, would you be interested in acting? It's something that's focused on women. You focused on women all your life. And she was like, And eventually she was like, okay, yes.
Oh, fantastic.
And she's been very supportive on the project. And in my foray into banking, definitely, my CHRA is wonderful. My GM corporate investments.
Woman.
Yeah.
Powerful women.
Yes. I don't know if I'm permitted to call their names.
No.
Okay.
All right, so we have to wrap up now, but how do you fund this thing? People always wonder, I want to do a movie, where do you get the funding from? Or it's just money that you saved up?
It's a combination. So there's self-funded. I have support from the Bank of Industry. I have a few sponsors.
Yeah.
And then it's, the support has to go on because I think Chatroom is a movie that every woman has to see. So I'm actually interested in getting organizations to get their... because one of the beautiful things about Chatroom is that the tagline of Chatroom is break the silence, right? And that is, I was talking about the power of your voice. We need women to break their silence. And on the movie website, there's going to be a literal virtual chat room, never before seen in Nigeria or in Nollywood, where you can actually go and speak to someone either as an anonymous person or if you want to share your email address, you can. And it's supported by the Nigerian Institute of Counselors.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate it. Wish you the best in your success. And let us know when the premiere comes so we can also support you.
Are you invited right now?
Oh, thank you. Okay, that's all we can take on this segment. Let's go to break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So before we go on, we're going to be inviting our next guest. So he's a business analyst with Sunday Adeyemo to discuss how to start a business from scratch and transform it into a bigger enterprise to improve efficiency and strength in your business process. As you know, Wednesdays we like to talk about business and learn from each other and how we can actually make our business better and become better entrepreneurs. Welcome, sir, to the show. It's a good thing to have you.
Good morning.
So many people are always hearing about that. Become an entrepreneur. You can always be a 9-to-5 worker, start a business, not just start and sustain a business. How do you scale? There's so many questions people have. Let us know, what exactly is the first step to take when you want to start a business?
All right. The first step is you must first get your mind right. Yeah, very well. You must know that everything starts small. Nothing big starts big. Everything big starts small.
Yeah.
So you must first get the right reason for going into business. So most often people go into business with wrong reasons. One, my friend is doing business, I want to do business. I don't want to serve under anybody, I want to be my own boss. It's a wrong reason for going into business. I don't want to say yes sir to someone, I don't want to say yes ma'am to anybody. It's a wrong reason. Some people felt, okay, let me go into business because I want to be at my comfort zone. Nobody stay at comfort zone doing business. Ask Dangote, ask Okonko, ask all of them. They are not at their comfort zone. So first thing to do business is you must first get rid of the wrong reasons. Then you bring in the right reasons. So what is the first thing now to do? Second thing to do after, eradicating those wrong reasons is to first find something to do. God does not bless emptiness. There must be something to do. 2 times 0 is 0. 1 million times 0 is 0.
0.
Billion times 0 is 0. So no matter how much God wants you to be blessed, until there is a multiplying factor, no matter how small. So the first thing is to find what can you do, either tangible or intangible, either knowledge, either intellectual property, something to sell. So that's where to start from. So you must find something people need, something they are willing to pay for, something that is a pressing demand that they can't do without. And that's how to start from.
Good. Because I know of, I have younger ones, and some of them decided after going through school in Nigeria, you know, Nigerian schools, we teach you the book, not necessarily a lot of skills. And then they come out and they say that they want to run their own business. And I see them, struggling back and forth. I would have advised, go and get a job and see how someone else is running their business and then bring it to your business eventually. But they have also shown me people who left school and started business and they have made it. Could you please say something about that? What do you think? Is my advice right, or do they know better?
You are very, very right. Nobody arises out of mentorship training. I tell people the business you go into, at least you should know between 60 to 80% of it. So for myself, I was trained. And training is either formal or informal. So you must go for training. It's not possible to just start up a business you don't know anything about. And that's what makes people to keep rising and falling into business, Rise today, do this one today. Today is bake cake making, tomorrow is, cleaning job, tomorrow is a background check. Tomorrow, they have not been properly trained. So they must be trained, no matter how small.
Go ahead, Tope.
So I feel that there is no better way to learn than on the job. You can go to school several times, attend many conferences and training until you don't know what you know. So, and we hear many people talk share knowledge, but it's more interesting when you share what you have done. So, for me to listen to you, what are the businesses? People that are listening and they're like, oh, they've covered this, our aspire to perspire. Okay, what are the businesses you've done so that those listening will be like, this man has done ABCD? Just blow your trumpets.
And who did you work for before you started business? Or were you one of those people
that you just
you're talking about that I don't want to serve, I don't want to... I don't want to say yes sir to anybody.
Okay, I said training could be formal or informal. I was privileged to be trained by my parents, so that's an informal training, So my parents are also business people. So ideally, I don't like the business. I wanted to work with Globacom, MTN. I've applied for their job. I studied electrical electronics from Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. So I'm CCNA certified. I'm CWNA certified.
So you collected all the certificates and you were looking for work?
Yes, I have fiber optics knowledge. I was to do my CCNP, that's Cisco Certified Network Professional, before I told myself, enough of all this work. So I was trained informally from my parents. And after leaving school, I knew the Lord wanted me to go into business, but I don't like it. I wanted a formal job like you guys, I love that you guys are looking cute. In business, you don't look cute like this. You have to look rugged. So I got an informal training from my parent, and I started up 2011-12.
Okay.
I started up being distributors of all Nigerian-made products, majorly household use products.
Oh, FMCGs.
So majorly biscuits, children chops, detergents, cereals.
What's your staff strength?
We have about 30 people.
Okay.
So like you're trading.
Yes, trading.
Wow, that's interesting. When people talk about business, I don't hear trading much.
So how do you get into that kind of trading? Like, what are the rudiments of trading business in Nigeria? And is it very lucrative?
Very, very. Considering the population. Yes. One of the strengths of Nigeria is our population.
Right.
Our population is increasing at almost 6 million annually. So I can even draw out some analysis for you. For instance, interestingly, I'm the only man here. 4 women. You have children, so I can really sell to you. I know what your children will like. So anybody that is building any economy around the basic needs of people, the such business will definitely thrive. So for instance, the economy is down now. If somebody is thinking about selling first clothes, it's not bad. But it's all Yoruba we say, man, you understand? Man washer. So I'm not yet satisfied. I'm hungry. I want to think about clothes. So you must learn to focus your business on basic needs.
So I like that. I like the fact that we're now talking about the numbers. So you're in a business that you're leveraging on our population, which is great. Now, there's somebody listening to you right now and they're looking for business ideas. So what part of the value chain are you? Are you just distributing? Did you go to different companies who are manufacturing? Say, okay, my company can help you distribute. Or what did you do exactly to start this business?
All right, first, after I'm sure I've got to do this, I got registered. If you're doing business in Nigeria, you should be registered with Corporate Affairs Commission.
Okay.
So I tell people, until you're registered, you are still a mushroom business person.
Okay.
Yes, because there are some companies that will not even relate with you.
Yes.
And then there are opportunities you cannot access without being registered. So be registered, put a structure around your business. And then for someone like me, I got registered, I got a warehouse, I started with the small capital I have, and then...
Did you approach manufacturing companies or?
Yes. Okay. You have to apply for distributorship. Okay. And most of them are in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Ibadan. So I have to write application to them, either online most often, and then they reply, and then we start the deal.
So your business involves taking buses. You have to buy. Do you have to buy trucks so you can rent? I mean, somebody wants to learn from you. You don't want to tell us your trade secrets.
Okay, no, why not? Why not? I believe there's someone that will be raised from this section.
Yeah, so tell us how you started it.
So, well, I started, like I said, I've been trained over the years. So, and I started first with Daily Foods, which has now, been sold to another company at Ilasamaja there. So I started with them. Majorly, you buy by trucks. They don't sell in bits to people that want to to distributors. So I started with them, and gradually, later I have to increase my capital. I kept pouring it back
into the business.
Yes, into the business. And maybe I would like to say that briefly. If you're starting a business, there's a season called the lean phase. The lean phase is a time the business takes much from you. It's a time where you don't take much from the business so that you can grow your capital. So after Daily Food, I approached A&P Foods, which is at Dokbemo Ikeja there. From there, I kept going on and on. So it's one step after the other, because growth is process and is over a period of time. So you start from one. I started from Daily Foods. Later, I go to Sumal also, and other foods.
I know some of those are those cracker biscuits.
Did you bring biscuits for us?
Yes, I did.
Oh, did really?
I did.
But you said something. You said you had little capital and you're able to get a warehouse. One of the things I hear a lot of young people say is that I have no capital, and this is the business that I've decided I want to do. I have taken all the wrong reasons out. I now have the right reasons, but I don't have the capital. Money. Yes, so what would you advise that person?
Cash is one of the lifeline of every business.
Yes, so cash flow is king.
It's king. So, now one of the things is, I ask young people, you say, truly you want to do business? You're using a phone of 200,000 and you tell me you don't have capital. You're deceiving yourself. We are in a generation, especially to our young people, you want to live an extravagant life. You don't want to sacrifice. The first thing I did was, all through my service year, I knew I'm going to go into business, so I started saving from service. And these coppers, they are collecting almost, 40,000 naira. They're not saving. So first, I have to save up for myself. And then from there, someone God led to me gave me an amount of money.
Wow.
Yes. A family friend gave me a soft loan, not from bank. Please don't start up a business from bank.
Opportunity meeting preparation.
Yes.
Preparation.
So that's just, and then I put the money in and then we started.
Fantastic. Well, we have to wrap up on this, but I like it when I see young people like you who come up and tell us your story, because it inspires a lot of people. Nobody even thought of distribution. You're thinking of business. distribution is a huge, because we have a huge population.
Yes,
That's a
we are
huge
eating, we are wearing slippers,
Yeah,
we
so-
would
You wash your
During
clothes.
COVID now.
soap.
Yes.
She said, you wash your clothes. Your children will eat
That's
biscuits.
business.
You
I'm
use
telling you.
Pampers, right?
Fantastic.
So your children use Pampers.
You
So
can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong.
you can go wrong.
Well
with
done.
food.
Thank you very much. I think
Interesting
we'll be able to
perspective.
get that. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for joining us. Let's go. Is there any final words? Let me give you 2 seconds. Anything you want to say that?
Yeah, I'd just like to encourage our younger one. Don't be discouraged. Nigeria, you have a lot to make in Nigeria. A lot. Don't be discouraged. Keep pressing.
You
Believe.
shouldn't jackpot.
Don't jackpot. Yes.
All right. Let's go on a break. When we come back, come on to our next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So over the weekend, back to this Yahaya Bello matter, the governor, Yahaya Bello of Kogi State, declared his presidential ambition, which generated so much talking points, outrage, and mixed reactions amongst many Nigerians, especially on social media platforms. In fact, the fact that where he mentioned his plan to replicate his governorship performance in Kogi, if he becomes the next president, people are saying, Uncle, what did you do in Kogi exactly? Because some of us don't even know. They're only hearing for the first time that you actually did something in Kogi. So join us to help us understand what this man, Governor Yahaya Bello, has done in Kogi State is Honorable Moses Okezie Okafor. He's the Director of Research and Strategy, Yahaya Bello Presidential Campaign Organization. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning, Morayo. How are you?
The volume is a bit low. I'd like it to be increased if I can. That would be nice so we can hear you properly. So,
Yes, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Thank you very much. So, Governor Yahaya Bello declared over the weekend, and we're thinking to ourselves, okay, give us some numbers in Kogi. What have you done? What has the governor done that you believe that Nigerians would expect him to replicate if he becomes president?
Thank you for that slip of tongue. What has my president done? Let us first of all start by saying that the Yahaya Bello campaign for president in 2023 is not a spin-off of Hope 23 or the MKO Abiola persona. It is not. Okay. He inspires us, and we're so happy to have his daughter Hafsat with us as the DG, and also his own DG, Senator Jonathan Zwingina, with us as the chairman of the campaign council. But the fact remains that this is all Yahaya Bello, who he stands for, his achievements, and of course, his aspirations to lead this country after he has led Kogi State. Yes, during the declaration, he did two things. He said two things. One, he's running first on the plank of admitting that the current administration of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari has done a lot in terms of infrastructure and so many other things, and that his successor should be somebody who is out to consolidate and not to discredit. So, of course, he admits that the current APC administration has done a lot, but there are also gaps that must be filled, for instance, in security, in diversity management, in the economy, and in one or two other areas. And so he sees that he is well equipped to fill those gaps, to bridge those gaps. And that is why the slogan of the campaign is Hope, Bridging the Gap. And then secondly, the second plank of his campaign, which he has challenged everybody, is that he is not running apologetically, but on a solid record of verifiable achievements in his current assignment as the governor of Kogi State since 27 January 2016 till date. And what are those achievements? I think, first of all, I probably don't know if you know it, but Kogi State is leading the country in the reduction of under-5 mortality since 2018. That is from statistics from the Federal Ministry of Health, the National Population Commission, and of course, USAID sponsored that study. I don't think that this is something Nigerians don't want. They want that. That is one of his achievements.
Okay. Let me pause you for a second.
Yahaya Bello.
Honorable, we'll come back to the other key things he has done. Let me throw a few more questions in for you. Go ahead, Waike.
I mean, I've been reading a lot of tweets and tubes on during this. We've been talking about the governor for a while. And a lot of people are saying he doesn't pay salaries, that he's owing a lot of salaries. If this is true, how is he going to, is that what he wants to replicate?
Can I answer that immediately?
Yes.
Okay, Governor Yahaya Bello has not owed salary since 2018, after he concluded the staff screening and verification exercise. He has not owed salaries. He pays 100% salaries to state workers at the state level. Since 2018, he has not owed salaries. He pays promptly on or before the end of every month.
Okay.
At the local government level, there is what we call the percentage salaries. Those also come promptly on or before the end of the month, but they are in percentages and for reasons that are well known to not just Kogi State, but all Nigerians and many states. The workforce he inherited is over-bloated. He met about 80,000 workers, in quotes, on the state payroll. He conducted that screening exercise for almost 1.5 years just to bring it down to manageable levels. And realized at the end of it all,
right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly.
He realized at the end of it all that out of that 80,000 workers, only about 10,000 were ghost workers.
Okay.
The rest were real, genuine Kogites on the state payroll, except that for many of them at the local government level, there were no offices or job description. People just stuffed the payroll with their friends, with their families, with anybody they wanted to help, just not out of their own pocket. That was the legacy of the 15 years of PDP governance in the state.
Okay, all right.
And so we still had a bloat.
Right. I think we get the point.
I think I'd like to address this for you very well. As we're talking now, His Excellency pays salaries on or before the end of every month. Okay. Except that at the local government level, it is in percentages. When their allocations come from the federation, the state share of IGR accruing to every local government is added to it. The unions, NULGE, NUT, NLC, TUC, at each local government level sits down with the state officials. This is what has come in. It cannot pay everybody 100%.
Right.
How much should we pay? And they agree on the percentages per month. His Excellency did direct that it shouldn't fall below 50% no matter what happens. There is a simple solution to all of this. Kogi State has no reason having 30 to 40,000 workers on her local government payroll alone. Other states have retrenched between 20 to 25,000 or more workers. His Excellency could also retrench today. And after the screening exercise in 2018, the issue of retrenchment came up. Labour agreed, Labour implored His Excellency not to retrench. They would rather have the percentage salaries than have people retrenched. And His Excellency has also said that retrenchment is not something you do to anybody in the current economy. And so, when you have a local government workforce that you will require about 5 billion to pay every month if you want to pay 100%. But at the end of every month, everything that comes in, including allocation from the federation and, of course, the state IGR and other income accruing to the local government is not up to or slightly above 3 billion. And you still have to take care of recurrents, traditional rulers, projects, and the rest. You can understand why the issue of percentage payment, persist at local government levels. There
okay,
is no
point taken. Let me pause you for a second. We get the point. Let me pause because I have a few more questions in for you. Go ahead, Mariam.
Okay, we know that if you're going to say one problem that's besieged our nation for the past...
Please, you need to speak up. It's very faint here.
Okay.
Okay, so there's one problem that we're dealing with as a nation right now, and it's insecurity. And I've heard your governor talk about how he's handled it in Kogi State, but I also know that he's part of the Governors Forum, and I wonder in what ways he has supported Nigeria as a whole and other states in their fight against insecurity, especially Kaduna State right now.
When Governor Yahaya Bello came to office in 2016, Kogi State was the most insecure state in Nigeria outside of the northeast that was being ravaged by Boko Haram. In less than 6 months after he took office, it just stopped abruptly. And it was simple. He spent his security vote on security, in addition to other homegrown strategies, including the use of community policing, the use of synergy. He synergized the various security agencies that were posted to the state. He made sure that rather than work at cross purposes that like they've been doing before he came on board, he knits them together. He bought over 250 vehicles and spent billions on other forms of logistics for them and equipped them thoroughly. And he had them working together in a joint task force. And there were other things that were done I may not be able to say on air, but I can assure you that 1 year after Governor Yahaya Bello came to office, we celebrated a 6-week period without a single incident of kidnapping. And since then, kidnapping, armed robbery, and other forms of banditry are now opportunistic crime, just very rarely heard of in Kogi State. Governor Yahaya Bello says the next president of Nigeria should be somebody who has the capacity to ensure security of lives and properties in a large territory with difficult terrain. He has proven it. And so when he says he wants to replicate what is done in Kogi State in Nigeria if given the chance, of course, he's not speaking wishfully. Right. He's saying things that he has accomplished. Okay. Kogi State today has been rated as far back as 2018 as the safest, most peaceful state in the country and the second lowest crime rate in the country. It is still the same Kogi with 10 borders, sharing 10 borders, the largest number of any state in this country. It has not changed. What changed is the Chief Executive Officer and the Chief Security Officer of Kogi State, and we have peace and security today in Kogi State. It is one of the things he wishes Nigerians allows him to replicate in the country. Okay, so I'm not sure which indices was used for this rating or which organization or body did this rating, but we'll come to that. Let me throw in a few more questions. The National Peace Index, and also statistics from the National Bureau for Statistics as far back as 2018. All right. Google is your friend. Okay.
Because we don't have enough time, we need to answer the questions fast and throw in more questions. One of the biggest challenges Nigeria is facing is revenue. We don't have, Nigeria as a country needs to increase its revenue. We need to make more money. We need to open up more opportunities. Now, the governor within his state, obviously, as from what you even just said now, struggled with revenue and how to pay and meet the internal obligations of one state. How do we now trust that it will be able to manage the humongous challenge of our debts, of the economic crisis we're facing, petrol, all of that, and generate income for us as a country if he becomes the president?
Okay, thank you very much. Kogi State, when His Excellency Yahaya Bello took over, the monthly IGR was about 300 to 350 million per month on the average. Less than 1 year after he took over, it crossed the 1 billion naira mark. And so, of course, he showed capacity in growing the IGR and the income of the state. Apart from that, he has made very great use of reduction of wastage and the plugging of loopholes. You would understand that Kogi State at least as at last year again, for several times running, is rated by the Debt Management Office as the state that has reduced domestic debt the most in Nigeria. So he's a trendsetter, a trailblazer in the area of managing the economy, managing what you have. If he's given Nigeria to manage, Nigeria is rich. Nigeria has a lot of money at her disposal. It's not just being put to work for the people.
Okay.
The loopholes that we're all complaining about today, if we want them to end, let us give Governor Yahaya Bello a trial, because in Kogi State, as proven by all the various rating agents, I just talked to you about the Debt Management Office. Yeah. You may not be aware that Kogi State scored 100% in the state's Financial Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability Index of the World Bank. You may also not know that the World Bank wrote a letter commending Governor Yahaya Bello for returning money after the project has ended and there is a surplus. He returned $4 million back to the World Bank, right, which was used by another state. And in fact, that state couldn't have gotten that money if Kogi did not return it.
All right, let me throw in one more question.
Show you the transparency.
Right.
And so the question of the Nigerian economy is something that His Excellency is ready and, in fact, raring to go.
Okay, so there's a question that many southwestern Nigerians are really interested in, and this question is, whose idea was it to hire Hafsat Abiola? Because you are the Director of Research and Strategy. Was it your strategy? Was it Femi Fani-Kayode's idea? What exactly was your objective of hiring the daughter of one of the symbols of democracy in this country to be your campaign director?
Good. Like I told you, the Yahaya Bello campaign is not a spin-off of the MKO Abiola campaign. He inspires us just the way Martin Luther King Jr. inspires the whole world. Many politicians have made use of his name, his quotes, what it stands for, his ideals, and nobody has come to lambast them that there is perhaps some form of copyright or intellectual property on it. The Yahaya Bello campaign organization is reflective of the man himself. He is well known for inclusivity. He's somebody who has managed diversity massively in Kogi State. Kogi State is a microcosm of Nigeria. It has about 10 or more indigenous tribes, and they used to be heavily divided before he came in. He knits them together. Today, you don't hear of that anymore. Yahaya Bello is the governor who has put more women into high-ranking government positions than any other leader in this country before him. Yahaya Bello is the governor who has brought in people from all over the state. There are at least 54 Nigerians from other states and regions who are working in Kogi State. As I said,
I have very little time, so let me throw in one final question. You've answered my question. Let me come to why can't I come to Mariam?
The governor is having problems with the NMA. They say his percentage of salaries is inhuman and unacceptable. In fact, from this article I'm reading, there are many problems with the Nigerian Medical Association.
Okay, let me address that. There are no issues there. Since 2018, the Nigerian Medical Association and her members have gotten their full salaries as and as when due. In February last month, that was February of this year, there was an abysmal drop in the federal allocation, in the income of the federation. And when the money that came to the state fell so low, what did the governor do? He directed that anybody on levels 1 to 6 or who is earning 40,000 naira and below should be paid their salary 100%. Every other person should take a hit, 30% or less, just for February of this year. February of this year. The NMA came out then to say, we do not agree that our money should be deducted. But of course, the government has also said that once more money comes in, we are going to make up the shortfall. This is just to gather the peculiar situation in February of 2022. But you will know that NMA Kogi State is one of the branches that opts out when other branches go on strike for non-payment of salaries or anything. Why? Because Governor Yahaya Bello, who recruited heavily, has been paying them as and at when due.
Okay. Yes. So there are other controversies surrounding Kogi State and the governor. the telecom
Hit me with them. I have your answers here.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Maya.
so the telecom operators recently talked about a possible shutdown of many of the sites in Kogi State and how it will bring about a shutdown of telecommunications in many other surrounding states. Could you address why this is happening right now? And then we remember Kogi State was in the news with the EFCC concerning amounts of money that were supposed to be paid as salaries but was invested in the bank. Could you also clear that for us, please?
And I have one more.
Okay, I think for the issue with the telecoms operator is mainly Globacom. The fact remains that these are lawful taxes which they pay other places. They've just been getting away with it in Kogi State for far too long. And the state government insisted that it is time you pay. Of course, before it got to this level, the matter went to court. And the courts came down very hard on the telecoms of operators that you make this money in Kogi, you will pay these taxes. It ordered them to pay. It is a flouting of the court orders that the state government threatened to shut down their various stations if they don't pay. So it's not as if the government is acting arbitrarily. They are acting by the power and the orders of a court.
Okay.
Having said that, let me go to the second plank. Could you come again with the second
No,
question?
unfortunately, we have to go, sir. Thank you so much. We have to
Please
wrap up.
come back.
We run out of
millions
time.
of questions for you.
We'll be speaking with Honorable Moses Okezie-Okafor, Director, Research and Strategy, Yahaya Bello, Presidential Campaign Organization. Thank you so much, sir. But I must say my observation. Yeah. So he has Hafsat as his DG, and he has Honorable Moses Okezie-Okafor as his research. So he has a very good mix of people in his team.
I him how he's growing the Kogi economy, because if he's still waiting for the government allocation, I would have thought if he's growing the allocation,
and that's what Tokwe's question.
Economy, he doesn't need government allocation.
We have to run. That's all we can take on the show today. The campaign is just starting. Trust, we're going to bring in more people. We're talking. Let us hear what they want to do. We are ready for them this year. 2023 is not going to come like that. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.